This is the most deranged man I have ever seen. A serial killer who viewed humans as nothing more than playthings to be manipulated at will. But one day, he noticed monsters hiding among the crowds. They wore human clothing and spoke human words, yet were distinctly different from people. He couldn't understand why no one else noticed these creatures. Driven by curiosity, he followed one and discovered a scene of scattered mutilated bodies, though to him, it was nothing extraordinary, hardly different from his own handiwork. But this time, he was caught red-handed by the police. Despite having killed hundreds without ever being caught, he now found himself framed in place of the parasites. Perhaps his twisted experience with humans had sharpened his ability to distinguish between people and monsters. When he saw Shinichi that day, he immediately grew serious. After a moment, he concluded that Shinichi wasn't a monster, though deep in the boy's eyes, he sensed something not entirely human, but wrote it off as. Although he didn't ultimately identify Shinichi as a parasite, the police still regarded the boy as unusual. Meanwhile, a tough new figure had joined the police force, armed with a method to identify the creatures, and they were preparing to strike back. In his eyes, this was nothing less than pest extermination. The mayor and the most powerful parasites could sense the looming threat. 3 parasites, including Reiko, had already been killed, and their bodies recovered by a specialized agency, all without the mayor's knowledge, despite his position. Shinichi had returned to school, finally able to live an ordinary life, even enjoying a romantic relationship. But this peace was short-lived. The police came for him again. Amy held him tightly, afraid of losing him once more, ignoring the officers and refusing to let Shinichi be drawn back into danger. Still, the police hoped for his insight. Shinichi agreed to go to the station. Though the police captain saw him as a clueless teenager, he was willing to hear him out. When asked which weapon would be most effective, Shinichi recalled what his parasite once told him: flamethrowers work. They may not kill easily, but they intimidate. Burning the skin disrupts shapeshifting and causes neurological chaos. The captain, however, dismissed the idea, believing destroying the heart was more direct. That day, several buses and mysterious equipment appeared outside the government building. A fully armed independent mobile unit surrounded the premises. The mayor knew something was terribly wrong. Humanity was making its move. Inside the buses were sophisticated instruments. Sensors served as the key weapon. Once everything was ready, the operation began. The captain falsely announced that armed criminals were hiding on the rooftop, a cover to gather both humans and humanoid monsters inside for screening. This unit operated outside the mayor's control. Under the guise of evacuation, they led people out in groups of 7 to minimize risk. Through camera feeds, even Shinichi couldn't spot the parasites, including Kaido. His parasite, too distant, couldn't identify individuals, only sensing their overwhelming numbers. The mayor played his part perfectly, urging that children, the elderly, and female staff be evacuated first. People praised him as a compassionate leader, but each evacuee had to pass through a DNA-based sensor that filtered out non-human material. Those who showed no abnormalities were let go. Those without a head, the parasites, were flagged. The moment a target was identified, the unit moved silently into action.